Welcome to our van tour. I'm Allie.
And I'm Gio. What we have here is a 170 Sprinter. This is the longer version of the two. You have your 144 and your 170. Family of four, so we needed the 170. Has a diesel engine, so we know it's gonna last a while. Has about 70,000 miles on it, and it's a 2015 with front wheel drive. So we bought this van, built out already for a weekend adventure type van. Guy who did it down in Mississippi, Jacob, shout out if you're watching, did an awesome job. But he built it out for his family of four to kind of take some weekend trips. So we needed to beef up things. Solar, the battery, the inverter, water, supply, all these types of things that we're gonna need because we're gonna be living on the road full time. So we'll take you through the van and show you what we have done to ramp it up.
Hey guys, we're gonna go inside so I can show you what I've tried to do to the inside so that we can survive as a family of four on the road.
Before we get too far into this tour, this is a van tour 0.75 because we're not on the road yet. Things aren't totally built out, but we want to kind of see how it feels, give everybody a tour of what's going on. We'll do a van tour 1.0 when we are actually out on the road using all of our things to see what mix, match, and last minute changes we made, but we're about 6 weeks out.
So first thing that we noticed is that we got a really big, large countertop. Really nice for all this cooking space to throw our stuff on top of, water bottles, everything like that. Underneath, we got lots of drawers. We did add these fixtures, which turned out really nicely. It's obviously very narrow in here, so we needed something that was just collapsible. And we just got these off Etsy. So every drawer has its own function. We have our just main junk drawer up here. And then we have some kitchen Tupperware supplies. Down here we're keeping all our camping supplies, our propane. We've got our kitchen in here. Everybody's got a bowl, everybody's got a plate, everybody's got a set of utensils. That's kind of how we're going to try to make this work. We have a really nice sink here. This actually comes off, it's nice and deep, has been really nice when we've looked at some other van options. We feel lucky to have this sink. So, under the sink here, we've got more storage. We're keeping one side, this is going to be our induction stovetop and our grill down here. And over here we have a bin for each kid. So when we get to camp, we're going to take each bin out, leave it outside, and then they can come and go with entertainment as they please. Obviously we have additional utility stuff as well with our paper towels, things like that. We have what we're calling our pantry up here, so all our dry goods are going to be stored right up here. We're going to have all this labeled, our breakfast supplies, our snack supplies. Down here we have our little coffee bin, so we'll be able to take this out and fix our coffee every morning, whether we're doing it inside or on the outside of the van. That's our pantry. Came with this really nice backsplash. We actually really like it a lot. We did add some of this magnet strips for our spices. And this little block we're going to keep our soaps and our dish towels in.
If you're enjoying this van tour, hit the subscribe button. It really helps us out. It supports us in this cool little venture that we're trying to do. We got the back of the van, the guts of the van. We're gonna get into what we got in here. I'm gonna pull some stuff apart, but as I take a few things out, I'll go over what they are. Leveling blocks, have to have these. This is our Dometic fridge that we put in. My wife made me buy the slider from them. It was worth it, I admit. It is the CFX 75DZ model, and we love it. Love it. It runs off 12 volt power, so we don't have to have the inverter on. Saves us a ton of energy, and pulls out nicely, opens up. Just have a day use in here right now, but it is huge. 2 panels there, freezer, fridge, whatever you want to do with it. Bluetooth control, little USB charger if you want, you know. Got everything. Love the fridge, all right? So we get into the back here. You can see the light help. All right, and then let's get to the guts of it. So come on in. We have 2 lithium Battleborn batteries, 100 amp hours. That's one of the upgrades that we did. We have our master shut-off switch right there, and then we have all these cables professionally put in. Down below, right in there, you'll see that's our inverter, and we have some wires running up to the bed there that we can turn it on and off with. From there, that connects up to our solar on the roof, which we have 2 100-watt solar panels down there. Our inverters, 2,000-watt inverter. So we also have our plug. It's just a regular 120-volt plug. If we are able to plug into power. And we have the alternator charger, so while we're driving, it's also giving juice to our batteries. Now, this is not the most robust battery hookup, but it is one of the things that we upgraded. They had the gel batteries in here, which don't last as long, and you shouldn't run below 50%. These lithium batteries have been awesome, can get a lot beefier, but so far, this has been really good for us. If we keep the inverter off, and we're using all the 12-volt batteries, or 12-volt appliances, I should say, then we are good to go. If we need to plug into 120 to cook or make coffee, then obviously that's going to drain a little bit, and we need to make sure we're in sun, closer to full battery. Now, we do have an awesome setup for the inverter with this Victron Connect. So what I really like about this, it gives us all the data on the battery. You see we're at 99% here, and then time remaining. So if we were to continue this unplugged, we'd have enough power for 2 days and 1 hour. It tells our current and our power and our consumed amp hours. Now, if we were to turn the inverter on, that's gonna go down a lot. But we don't have that on, so you can see we have 2 days of power to run the fridge off of, and we're getting 0 solar right now because we're in the shade. And if we go on this side, you have the battery electrical on one side, you always have the water on a separate side. We have our water pump switch right here that'll turn our water on, and then we have our fill station right in here. So our water tank is in here. If I slide the fridge out, I can get to it. My wife and I had a big debate, where do you put the fridge? Is it over here under this panel? But now we just have this panel to figure out. So
you can push all that back 6 inches to create some.
Open like a latch, put the fridge. Is it over here on this side? How do you get in? But if the fridge slides out, you can get to the water if there are any issues, which is the big thing. This whole panel comes off. To fill it, it's right here. We just slide the hose in there. We have a 25-gallon freshwater tank that'll pump right to our fridge. We have a 7-gallon gray water tank with a little lever that will release it from under the van. Again, it's just gray water. We don't have a black water tank, so it's just any type of toothbrushing or dishwashing or hand washing type of water. Super cool. I actually make use out of this. We have outdoor shower. All right, so this thing comes out, stretches out. I can attach it up there to the whiteboard. And bonus, we do have a 2.5-gallon Bosch hot water heater. So do not use that a ton. Okay, my wife gets upset about this because it pulls so much power and it makes me a little bit scared. But if we were in desperate need and we were plugged in, we could turn on and have access to hot water, which is a pretty cool thing. So that is our whole water and electrical situation.
Up here above our seats, we have really, really nice storage space. So we're trying to figure out how to utilize this best, which is still a bit of a work in progress. I did see on some other sites that I followed, these collapsible baskets are nice because you can just reach up and grab. So I'm thinking about having a second set right here. But we have a cast iron stove back here for now, which I think we'll get a lot of use of. All of our camp chairs and can fit up here. And we're gonna keep kids' helmets up here, maybe some winter coats up here.
So what we have here is a creation, my own creation, charging station. I was excited to put this together and put this in. Really excited to show Allie. Have a little clip of surprising her with it too.
Oh, and they charge right up there?
They charge up there. There will be wires coming through that everybody gets to charge with. So I'll have my iPad. Somebody's got to work out on the road. My wife doesn't really understand this concept. Just kidding. I'll be working from here, and then the iPad she'll be using the most, and then we have 2 tablets for the kids. Over here, some extra shelves, GoPro, phone, watch. I'll hook all that stuff. And then we want to actually add a couple nets off to the side because we have some walkie-talkies we're going to use with the kids. So really trying to control our wire situation in such a small space is going to be very important. There is a power strip back here. So it's 120 volts. It's kind of lined all the way back to the battery. And we have to have the inverter on to have that working, obviously, because it's 120 volt. But all we need to do is flick that on and we can get all the devices charged if we're plugged in, and we have all them plugged in. So really cool part, this little pad right here has a charger embedded underneath the wood. Embedded underneath the wood. Yeah, so all my wife has to do is just set her phone on top of there and then it starts to charge. Super cool technology. We have to just raise the bottom up with a little piece of wood, and then it worked great. She can also do that same thing with her ear pods.
Main reason we got this van was the bed setup for the kids. We really were looking for a bunk bed setup to create a personal space for the kids, because we thought if our kids feel comfortable, then this will just sustain us even longer. So we have a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. This bunk's a little bit smaller, so our 3-year-old's up here, 7-year-old is down at the bottom. My husband worked with the kids to create their little Murphy desks, so they'll be able to fill this with their arts and crafts and bring it down to have a little desk surface. So that was a really fun project that he was able to do. One for her and one for him. So this is where Mom and Dad sleep. When we first got the van, I was super set on getting flares. So flares are bump outs on either side so that we could actually sleep head to toe. And I think it's a really great way to utilize space, but 2 things. Really expensive. And what we kept running into was, because this van was pretty built out already, they said that we couldn't do it unless we totally deconstructed the back and took out the paneling and the bed and everything. So we nixed that. We're extra cozy here. We actually sleep with our head up here and our feet down here, and it works for us. Storage wise, we just put in a simple cargo net up here that we can throw our Kindles in. We got a nighttime light in here, little odds and ends. And then the bulk of our clothes goes up here. So we do the Marie Kondo, and we roll up all of our shirts and all of our items, and then Hubs those over here, I'm over here, and we can grab what we need. The van also came with a big old air conditioning unit. So it was pretty clunky. It actually came down also into our space here. We're on the East Coast now, and it gets hot and humid, but we're hoping that most of our travels will be out west. So we had a long conversation, and we decided to nix the air conditioning unit and replace it with this Max Air vent fan. We've been super happy with the decision so far.
All right, one of my favorite pieces of the van is this whole rig I have set up in the back. Now, this door is very light, so we just latch it in here with the standard kind of like bracket that all the Sprinter vans come with. And that could easily unlatch, and then the door can open all the way up. The drawback about having all this rig set up here is the door is so heavy that it pulls it shut, but super cool. It also doesn't get that 180 open. Up here, we have our one-up bike trays, and then we have our Owl Van bike rack. So what this allows us to do is fit a bike here, and then we throw our daughter's bike in the middle so we can actually get 3 bikes up on here. Went with the Expedition box on the back, and I hooked this bungee cord up so this doesn't shut. And then there is plenty of storage in here. I have our hose, I have our electrical 120 volt wires so we can get plugged in. We have our camp stove, wetsuit because surfing is life, hashtag surfer. We have our propane, and in the way back I also have a tool kit. I can do a little tour of this if you have questions about what size this is. The medium box from Owl Vans fits a ton, works perfect for us. I wouldn't really want any more weight on the back here. Locks up, solid construction. And as you come in the van, you would say, wow, there's a toilet. How would they get running water in here? Oh wait, it's a composting toilet like everybody else has. No, it's not. This right here is a dry flush toilet. You heard it first here. Others have this, obviously, but for us, we went with the dry flush. This eventually will be on rollers, sliders, so it will slide out a little bit smoother on a shelf. But you will open this up, and if you step a little closer, or you can see down here, there is this spaceship material. So you would do your business in there, one or a two, doesn't matter. And then you would flush with this nifty little button right here. It would twist everything up in a nice sealed off section, and then it would create a new section for you to do your business in next time. We'll slide this back. Now, when you were all done and you've used all 17 flushes, this would come out. Take this off. And then this whole piece comes out already in a black bag for you. And then you would dump that waste just like you would do a baby's diaper in a dumpster. What we are not proud of with this toilet is the amount of waste that it has. Hashtag van life. We care about the environment. The problem was the composting toilet was a big to-do to get it to go vent down from the outside of the van, because obviously you have to have some airflow out there. And, you know, outside of the composting toilet, the cassette toilet, which is also a lot going on. So this is kind of our emergency use toilet. We're going to have two little ones. Happens to be camping in a Walmart or a shady spot, and they need to do their business. We want to have something set up for them. But for the most part, we will be around facilities or trying to use them, because when you add it up, you know, I'm money conscious, it might be like $1.75 a flush with this. So I'm gonna be aware of who is using this toilet. Check this out, one of our favorite features in the van, the fold down seat. You can go up and down, creates a ton of room to slide back and forth in between the kitchen and just overall space to be around. So if I'm here by myself, I can kick it, throw my feet up, set up this lagoon table which we have mounted off to the side, or as you can see, the driver's and passenger seats swivel, so we can use this table to have dinner, sit at for game night for a family of 4. It's a bit tight, so sometimes this can be tricky to get on and off, but the lagoon table stows away very nicely. And then in the end, you'll see I slide the bench seat up to create that space, which is a beautiful thing. Thank you for watching the tour of our van. We appreciate you. If you made it this far, drop a comment below. Let us know your favorite part of the van tour. Let us know something that you want to hear more about. We head out here on the road full time soon as a family of 4, so we'll be dropping a lot more content. Content sounds so much better than dropping videos. We'll be delivering more content right to you. All about van life, hashtag van life, yes. Living in a van with a family of 4, and all the crazy cool adventures that we feel so unbelievably fortunate to be going on over these next few months. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.